Rock can come in, guys. Rock can come in, guys. Rock can come in. Yes, guys, Rocka come in. Rocka come in, guys. Rocka come in. And guess who are Rocka come in today? No, the one Ovi. One Ovi on the app. Rocka come in, guys. We are about to have a live conversation. Come on, guys. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscription button. And let us go. All right, guys, welcome one, welcome all. I know it's been a minute, yeah, but life is lifing, and so, but guess what? We're here, and we're here with a big one. You know, a very big one. Can I tell you that Jonathan Grant High is on fire? I don't know, a lot of us, we might be watching along in the context of the quiz and just wondering. I am telling you, all the giants that came along, they're just going down one by one. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome. But this is nothing new for me because I really understand the perspectives of traditional high school and non-traditional high school, having direct experience with both systems. So listen, sometimes we believe that, you know, students cannot do and they cannot do this, but let me see, let me tell you, now you're able to see. But for me, this is not strange territory. Ove, welcome. Talk to the people. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. It's good to be in your presence once more. We are happy to have you here with us. We're talking about this one here, Jonathan Grant, doing really well in a school challenge quiz. And, you know, we're just here to big them up right now.
All right, fantastic. So as you enter in the chat, please let me know your views on what's going on. And if you don't know what's going on, we're going to give you a quick update of what's going on in the quiz, school challenge quiz competition. So I'm looking, Mats Morgan, Soje, bless up yourself. Welcome, guys. So Jonathan Grant High is obviously a non-traditional high school in Jamaica, in the Jamaican context, right? And so we have seen in this quiz where Jonathan Grant has gone up against some really traditional high school. All right, so let's see if we can just change screen here. And as you can see, the first one that they went up against was Campion College. And in the context of the quiz, you know, 8 for Campion and 25 for Jonathan Grant High School. And I know Gibson Relay Soldier see you there. We'll try our best to see, you know, what we can do. But obviously, this one was, you know, indeed one that we could not talk about. And even if Jonathan Grant does not win their next match, trust me, they have done tremendously well in the competition. So Campion College, Jonathan Grant came out 25-8. We're talking about the Campion College, you know, up road there, across from Sovereign, the Campion College, right? And so look at the Jonathan Grant High School right now. So kudos to the teachers, principal, the school, all that they're doing there. So that was 8-25 in favor of Jonathan Grant. Now, we still, you could say, Hope Road, yes, Arden High School, somewhere in that area, yeah. And at the end, based on what I am being told, it was 28-20 in favor of Jonathan Grant High School. This is another top school, you know. We're not talking about no dibby. So we're talking about a Campion, you know, leaving from a Campion to Arden, and they're in a close area, Oak Road again, but Arden, I guess, closer to Halfway Tree. Yeah, because they have a Campion up there in that vicinity, Arden, St. Andrews for girls. So yes, they're very close by. And look at the scores on your screen. So as you can see from this one, it's Jonathan Grant 28, Arden High on 20. No, this is massive, all right? So think about that, and Soji saying, yes, that's true. You're right about that. And if we go now, let's see the final match. So round 3, not the final match, but this was aired on Friday, yesterday. And we recognize here the scores at the end, or the score here at the end. We have Jonathan Grant on 23 and Cornwall College on 17. So this is another top school that Jonathan Grant has taken down, believe it or not. Believe it or not. And I am telling you, social media it's going. Like, a lot of people, they're looking on, they're seeing what is happening, and they're talking out. And when we talk about, you know, the success of Jonathan Grant High School, we have to put a lot of things into perspective. One, these schools, such as non-traditional high schools, they do not get the best students when you talk about academics, right? So we talk about, like, from PEP now and how they're streaming students based on results. Yeah, we hear the stories that we're not streaming, we're sending you to, you know, the school that is closer to you. That is not really the case in reality. When I look at what is happening around me and the reality of it, you get good grades, you go into those top schools if you have selected those schools. And so it's important for us to have that understanding. So sometimes these non-traditional high schools, they'll get some students who are not reading at grade level. You know, when it comes down to numeracy, they're not at grade level. And so it's a lot of work, I can tell you. And oftentimes too, these non-traditional high schools, they're doing it with limited resources. So when you think about schools, for example, these top schools like a Campion, Arden, Cornwall College, they have strong alumni associations, right? And so what happens there, old boys or old girls or their association, they'll contribute significantly to the school. Some of these non-traditional high schools, yes, they will have an alumni association, but they're not able to contribute as much as how, perhaps a Campion college would be able to, past students would be able to contribute to that institution. And then, you know what this brings up? It brings up the point that privilege breeds privilege. And so we need to now understand the reality of what this means. Let's look at it. You go to a Campion college or a Cornwall college or a Glenmere High School, and you decide, so you're a doctor, you're in your big job, your big position, and you decide, say, oh, you know what? Me only a contribute to Glenmere. Nothing is wrong with contributing to your past school, but you know what is wrong with that on a wider societal level is that schools like a Jonathan Grant, a Central High School, you're not helping those students, and these students, perhaps they may have greater needs, and if we look at it educationally, than students who are going to Glenmere or a Campion. Not saying that students who are going to a Glenmere and a Campion, they do not have it hard, like, people struggle, because a lot of students now go to traditionalized schools and they do not have, the means by which to attend these schools. So, not saying that, but what I'm trying to say is that we need to balance whatever it is that we're sharing. Even if you want to give more to your school as a traditionalized school, consider a non-traditionalized school and what you can do, even for one child, because it is important. Because if we don't help these students to become successful, then we're going to have problems in society later. Because if they're not able to be gainfully employed and they're on the streets, then you know what the likely result of that could be. So we just need to balance that out. But can I say another congratulations to Jonathan Grant? Ovi, I'm going to come over to you, and I'm also going to put the WhatsApp number in the chat so that you guys can give us a call and let us know your views as well. Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, just want to big up Jonathan Grant on the way that they have played this year. And I'm just saying that, I think they have put in lots of work, lots of hard work. All the persons who are involved must be credited, from parents right back up to the teachers, the school in terms of administration. I'm sure is, supporting these students. But man, they have returned them with good results, and we have to, they have to be happy with the way how they are playing. And I'm just hoping and trusting that they can go all the way. And as you were suggesting about alumni and past students association in that regard, these students, you want them to matriculate to the highest level so that they can create that, kind of system in their school as well. And it's important for us to contribute to our schools or alma mater in any way that we can. And as you mentioned earlier as well, if you're able to contribute to other schools, contribute to to students who really and truly need it. And you know that you're helping the next generation as you do that. So I would just want these guys to continue working hard and continue to blaze that and listen to the word, blaze that trail for Jonathan Grant, because they're definitely on fire.
On fire, yeah. And I think Mr. Uncle perhaps is still their principal, strong principal. I
Yeah.
remember one year he rolled out like a red carpet for them, and so kudos to the team there at Jonathan Grant High School. Again, welcome if you're just tuning in. All right, Ovi.
Yeah, you know what? I know I need to pick up the reserves too, because sometimes we don't remember the other players who are on the team. Not sometimes we just highlight the persons who are playing, but usually there's a team around that, and I would really want to big up those persons, those students as well,
The
and the
coaches.
coaches. Yeah, for sure. You want to big up those persons, because each person have their role to play, and this is why the results are coming forward. So this is going to create a new thing as well, where these traditional high schools, they can't afford to take the other, as we'd say, country schools for granted
Not necessarily
anymore.
country school, but non-traditional
Non-traditional, yeah,
school.
for sure.
Yeah, they will be on the lookout. Bolo. Yes, guys, welcome, welcome. So I was just going through social media, and this person, I don't know, she sang a song for Jonathan Grant High School. I'm going to try and play it through here. I don't know if we're going. Well, she sang it, but the beat is from a popular song. So we'll see how it goes. So let's try to play this, and let's see. Hello, Jamaica. I am Shanique, and I wrote this song as a tribute to the quiz team of Jonathan Grant High School. We need a money pull up for our here. Pull up, pull up, pull up. I say one Jonathan Grant,
Never two. Never
All
two.
right, R3. You hear the song, man? No, man, no, man,
You
no,
know,
man.
you
We
know,
need a
you know,
like
it
or
could
a
be
subscription.
it could be three. It could be three. When you say Campion College, Arden High, Cornwall College, it could be three from that point.
Absolutely.
One Jonathan Grant.
One Jonathan Grant. So we're going to pull up this one. Let's go back from the top. Hello, Jamaica. I am Shanique, and I wrote this song as a tribute to the quiz team of Jonathan Grant High School. We in the quiz after all this time. We in the quiz and we shining bright. We showing them this is not AI. Still in the quiz, we in the quiz beating all the teams. We out here just living with dreams. We still the one them hate, but that's alright. I'm so glad we made it. Look how far we've come, Jamaica. Hello, Jamaica. Woo! One Jonathan, never two or three. My God, like I'm so happy that they're doing so well in the quiz. I am really happy because sometimes, as you said, we don't expect them to shine. We feel as if they don't, like sometimes too, even with children development, they will bloom at different stages of their life. Not everybody start out quick, and just think of life as running a race. You have your own lane. Not everybody is going to get to the Usain Bolt stage at the same time, and so that is important for us to note in that context. So, guys, if you're here, give us a call too. Would love to hear from you. But I think this is sending a very good message. And even to students too, sometimes the results come and you feel demotivated. Oh, want to go this to school because you hear all sort of things. I think it's sending a good message. It's not the school, the building, is really what you go and do there, and taking all that you can in the context, because we have good teachers all over.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely the students that attend the school and the support that they have around them. You need good administration, good teachers, as well as good parents. So once you have that team around any school or any set of students, then they have that possibility to do really, really well. And that's what we're encouraging. So if you're a parent, teacher, any part you play in terms of a child's life, I'm asking you to just support them academically and in whatever they like to do in terms of anything positive there. I want you to just support them so that they can do their best. But we have to salute these students from Jonathan Grant High School. They're doing really, really well in the quiz competition this year.
Yeah, for sure. Big up to the entire school community, the teachers, the principal, parents, the students, because let me tell you, when you go into TVJ, into the studio for quiz, what you see is really the finished product on in TV land, but it's really a lot of nerve, and sometimes you will be there playing the game and not even recognize that you're in a match. Sometimes it just goes like that because it's like, okay, first minute, and if something happens, a focus, and then you might wonder if is this the real run. And so sometimes too, when you see these students on your TV screens and they look, nervous, or you're saying, why didn't I just answer? Why didn't I just say pass? Trust me, it can be very nerve rocking in there, and not being used to the spotlight, not showing what they're capturing, and knowing that there are cameras all around because it's just a studio. And so it shows differently to you on your end, but they're in the production. So it's like perhaps at one moment they might, can we do that again? But no, it can't run, it can't do
Yeah,
again.
live, live, live. But
Live,
I
live,
get
live.
I get what you're saying, and we don't often look on it from that perspective for sure, because we're always behind the camera watching, but they are in the spotlight. They are seeing all the lights. They are hearing all the instructions. They are probably sometimes intimidated by the stature of other teams and just by people who are in their presence. So I'm just thinking that we need to give these kids credit for what they have done. Many persons, I'm sure, wouldn't want the limelight that they're in, and they are representing themselves really, really, really well. So we have to just give them their kudos for what they have been doing.
Yeah, and it's not that we're putting down traditional high schools. I want to make that clear. So big up to Campion, big up to Arden, big up to Cornwall College, big up to Glenmuir. Glenmuir last evening to Dintil. So you there? You would have loved this one and if you're still there. Yeah, so they are, again, we see where the non-traditional high schools, they're coming in, they're trying to make a difference in the context of what is going on. We want to hear from somebody, so give us a call on WhatsApp there, all right, and let us know your views on the situation. All right, again, welcome one, welcome all. And let me see here. I see Simone, I see a reaction there over on WhatsApp. Tech Gaming. I'm not sure if let me know if I can play a voice note live. I see it over there on WhatsApp. And Jerilyn, welcome, welcome. Big up yourself. I see that you sent I'm not too sure what this is, so perhaps I'll have to just listen and then just reconnect. So let me see if I can do that. But welcome, guys, welcome. And let us know your thoughts in the chat. All right, guys. So, yes, would love to hear from you. So, please remember to hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and let us know what's going on. All right. We want to hear from you. What are your views on Jonathan Grant? They're going, they're doing, and, they're just representing themselves, their families, the entire school community, and we want to big them up for that. And again, we can shine from anywhere, right? It just means that we just need to go there, do the work, and as long as there is support. And I believe, just based on my experiences, all right, with traditional and non traditional high schools, that the teachers in non-traditional high schools, they are very, very dedicated. And let me say, you're going to have the negative and the not so good bunch, but for the most part they're very supportive. They are there, the extra classes, they're putting in the work. A lot of these teachers, they're putting in the work and they're supporting their students. So let it be no surprise, to see a non-traditional high school doing well in whatever it is, whether it's quiz, champs, whatever it is, because we have some supportive teachers, and sometimes we get some supportive school leaders, so principals, who understand the need to invest in their students, because we have some principals that don't necessarily want to do that. I don't know. So, and you have some principals that understand too that resources are scarce, and they'll go and look that support for their students because they understand that the Ministry of Education cannot provide all that they would need, and so they may do with what they have but also try to seek support from the business community to to further support students. So that is very good. So again, I'm very happy to see what is happening with, again, Jonathan Grant High School. And Ray, welcome, Ray saying one Titchfield High School. All right, Ray, big up yourself and big up to Titchfield. All right, all the way right out of Portland. So one Titch, never two nor three. And the last time I saw them, they look very good, Titchfield. So, again, whatever it is that you're doing, do what you can to support, your school, the students. I'll always say that. And if you are associated with a traditional high school, try and stretch some of that support to a non-traditional high school, even one student. It could be a student from your community that because again, as I said, privilege breeds privilege. And if we don't try to intentionally help, students, for example, from non-traditional high schools, then the likely societal effects, can be perhaps something that we do not want, those effects to be. And so, that is important for us to understand. So if you're here and you want to give us a call, we would love to hear your voice. The WhatsApp number is pinned at the top of the chat there. So give us a call and let us know, your views on what's happening in the context of Jonathan Grant. They're on fire, they're on a roll, and that is something, I think that is something good for this school out of Spanish Town there. And it's just good to see. And it's just a powerful message, or for some of us who don't know, that non-traditional high schools, they do well too. And for some of us who just have the belief that only certain schools your kids can go and get a good education, that's not necessarily true. I mean, schools are schools, and you will have places with good teachers, bad teachers. And once you are that supportive parent, once you have teachers who are supportive, you have a community of support, then your child can do very well. So they can shine, just from wherever. So I like the fact that, the non-traditional high schools like Jonathan Grant, they are rewriting this narrative that is out there that, only traditional high schools can do well. And even if they do not win their next game, that's totally okay. They would have made a very strong statement in this quiz competition. And when I say a strong statement, I am talking about going up against like Arden High School. And that was what, 28-20 at the end in that one. Going up against a Campion High School, 25-8. So again, that's another big win there for Jonathan Grant High. And going up against a Cornwall College, all right, another big win there, 23-17. And so again, they would have proven the point that, non-traditional high schools, they're doing well and they can do even better, are just as good as traditional high schools. So let's take nothing away from these students. Let's just continue to support all our students, especially our students from non-traditional high schools. And I also shared earlier, if you're just tuning in, that we are not saying that you should not support traditional high schools. No, because we have students going to traditional high schools with serious needs. They don't have the resources. They're coming from very humble beginnings. So, they don't have it, low socioeconomic backgrounds. And so we want to keep that in mind too when we have this conversation, because the idea is, whatever traditional high schools are doing in terms of academics, non-traditional high schools can do it too. And we want to big up Jonathan Grant High School for really demonstrating that to the Jamaican people that, it is possible. We can do it. It doesn't matter which school you attend, there is brilliance everywhere. All right. So, welcome, guys. If you're just tuning in, all right, we are about to wrap up things here. And I'm checking in the chat to see if there are any new comments. I am not seeing any new comments in the chat just yet. All right, but welcome, welcome if you're just tuning in. I think I want to go back to that song. All right, regarding Jonathan Grant High School. So we're going to go to that song and let us just hear that. So, and if you really love the song, just say pull up in the pull up in the chat. All right, let's go to this song and let me know if you're hearing it loud and clear there in the chat.
I am Shanique, and I wrote this song as a tribute to the quiz team of Jonathan Grant High School. Bright, we're showing them this is not AI. Still in the
Pull up on the one there. Rock and come in, guys. Rock and come in. If you're just tuning in, we're wrapping up, but let's just pull up on this one. Pull up on this one.
Hello, Jamaica. I am Shanique, and I wrote this song as a tribute to the quiz team of Jonathan Grant High School. Yay. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, Jamaica. We might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet Jonathan won't make it, but just look at us holding on. Still in TVJ's quiz, still going strong. We're still in the quiz, we're in the quiz after all this time. We're in the quiz and we're shining bright. We're showing them this is not AI. Still in the quiz, we're in the quiz beating all the teams. We out here just living with dreams. We still the one them hate, but that's alright. I'm so glad we made it. Look how far we've come, Jamaica. Hello, Jamaica.
All right. Let me tell you, it is just a good feeling and it's a good look to see all that is happening there with, Jonathan Grant High School. And again, support all the teams in the quiz, win, lose, or draw. All right, big up to everyone. And guys, again, just support students. If you know somebody from your community that you can help, just help them. All right, it goes a very far way. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you coming over. All right, blessings and love. Do not leave without hitting the like button, without hitting the subscription button. And you know what? We'll see you in the next live. Bye for now.